Seriously, Hot Pocket, why are you at Carnival in Trinidad if you have a criminal record on the books over here in America? Why are you so hard up to go to Carnival in Trinidad? You tell me. This is why y'all are getting stopped. Hot Pocket, you can't keep still. You have a criminal record. Why are you going back to Jamaica? For what? Even if it is a minor traffic, whatever.
Travel warning to all green card holder, 10-year green card holder and 2-year conditional green card holders. If you have a 10-year green card holder and you committed a crime in the past, or you are currently in removal proceedings and you travel abroad, you have to know that you'll be detained or arrested at the airport. CBP and ICE have completely changed their practice. The American Immigration Lawyers Association have also posted a warning that most people with criminal records and those who are in removal proceedings are being detained at the airport. Also, for those with a 2-year conditional green card are also having a hard time at the airport. If you have a 10-year green card and you are currently in removal proceedings, or you have a pending criminal charges, or you have a criminal record, you should not travel, because if you do, coming back at the airport, they will arrest you and detain you for deportation. Also, if you have a 2 years conditional green card and your condition was not removed, they denied your petition, you should not travel, because if you do, coming back at the airport, they will arrest you and detain you for deportation. Travel only if your record is clean.
Welcome and welcome back to my channel, guys. It's your girl Pebbles. Thank you for always coming back to watch me. It's a pleasure having you here with me, having you spend time with me. Please consider, if you are new to my channel, consider subscribing, okay? Everyone else, please, I'm begging you. I am begging you, smash that like button and leave your comments in the comments section for me today. It is a really serious topic, and it is a topic that I want to discuss with all of you, since most of my viewers are from the Caribbean or Africa. So I want to talk about something that has been circulating all over the internet and has been driving fear and hysteria into a lot of people. I feel like we are back in 2020 when COVID was going around and people were afraid, so afraid to go outside, so afraid to do normal things. And I'm getting this feeling recently that there are a lot of people who are afraid to go outside because a lot of rumors and a lot of truth has been circulating on the internet regarding immigration. Okay? Immigration. That is a topic we are going to discuss today. Immigration, ICE deportation, green card truth, and lies. Okay? Rumors, truth, and lies surrounding green card holders, surrounding people who were not born inside the United States of America. People like you and people like me, okay? So let's talk about it. We're going to talk about the claims of green card holders and the travel warning. We're also going to discuss the claims of immigration ICE raids in schools, churches, law firms, hallways of courthouses. Yes, guys, they are there now. Immigration appointment raids. This is a big one because this just started happening recently, okay? And I will also read an article for you regarding that, the immigration appointment raids, okay? We're going to talk about also a young girl at a school who unalived herself because she was bullied. She was bullied because of all these immigration issues. So we're going to talk about that as well. We're also going to talk about the fear and the anxiety of, you know, what a lot of people are going through right now. We're going to debunk some of the lies that have been said, because, you know, social media, all of this is spreading on social media like wildfire. And I'm trying to figure out, is it that they're trying to put fear into people, okay? The anxiety that is causing people. What are the purpose of all these, lies, and some of them which are truth, that are circulating on social media? We all know that people have their reasons why they post some of these topics, some which are truth and some which are just blatant lies that they are telling. Some of them is just for views, for clickbaits, for views. And people are so worried that they are going to watch it. They are going to watch the entire video because they're worried and they want to know what is going on. And they're looking to social media for answers, which that should not be. If you have a huge immigration issue, you should not be on social media, or you should not be on Google trying to Google to figure out, oh, I have this immigration issue and I need to know from social media what to do. No, you should be calling your attorney. Now, let me just be clear that I am not an attorney. Okay, I'm not an attorney, so all the information that I will be presenting to you today, some of it is alleged, some of it I will be reading, which will be truth. But if you have immigration issue, please do not ask me. I don't have the answers. I can direct you to a few immigration attorneys, okay? So please do not ask me. I do not have all the answers, okay? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, because some people, I don't know, maybe they can't afford an attorney, but maybe there are some people out there. I can give you some attorneys' YouTube handle to follow. That's what I'm going to do. I'll give you some attorney YouTube handles to follow, and a lot of them break down certain things on their channel, and you get that information for free, okay? If you have a lot of questions. And some of them you can even ask them some questions and they will address the questions for you at a legal standpoint. Either that, or I can recommend you to Zach. Zach, where are you? Are you here watching me? I haven't seen you on YouTube for a while. Zach is Ayamarwa's attorney. Anyway, so let's talk about it. The first thing that we're going to talk about is regarding the green card holders warning that has been circulating on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. And a lot of people are saying that if you have a green card, you should not leave this country at all. You should not go anywhere outside of the United States of America if you are a green card holder, because they are taking your green card away from you at the airport. They're cutting all four corners of the green card, and then they are denying you entry into the United States if you're a green card holder. So you should stay put in America at this time. That is false, people. That is not true. Okay, now some people are saying that there are some immigration officer at the port of entries coming back into the United States of America who are giving you form I-407. I-407 is a record of abandonment of lawful permanent resident status. So if you sign this form, you're basically giving up your right to live in America. You're basically giving up your green card. And they're saying that a lot of immigration officers at the port of entries back into America are giving some people these forms, and they are not familiar with the forms. They don't know what these forms are for, and they are just pressuring them at these port of entries to sign the forms, and you don't know what you're signing. And when you sign this form, you just basically say, hey, I don't want to be a resident in America anymore, without knowing that's what you're signing. So a lot of attorneys and other people like me are telling their friends and families, don't sign any forms without consulting your attorney. And if you do not have an attorney, then you ask them to explain to you, what is this form for? Okay, let them explain it to you step by step so you know exactly what you're signing. As a matter of fact, do not sign any document unless you fully understand what you are signing, whether it relates to immigration issues or not. It's just common sense. It's just common sense.
client was flying back from Trinidad to JFK Airport. She had been outside of the United States for about 11 months, and prior to that, she had been outside of the United States for about 9 months because she goes to school in Trinidad. Now, she has a lawful permanent resident card, and when she hired us, I told her, hey, you need to get a reentry permit because you can't be outside of the United States this long. With the reentry permit, aka the white passport, it allows you to be outside of the United States for a 2-year period. So she was coming back to the U.S. to allow us to apply for that reentry permit because your physical body has to be in the United States when you make this application. When she arrived at JFK, she was placed into secondary. She had her cell phone on her, and during her whole experience, she was messaging me. And the CBP officer was questioning her why she was outside the United States, and she had her school documents, and she was explaining why she was outside, but they kept telling her, you're not allowed to live outside of the United States with your green card without a reentry permit. And they kept telling her, I want you to sign this I-407 abandonment of lawful permanent resident status. And if you sign it, we'll let you in for a couple weeks to visit your family, but then you go back to Trinidad. And I kept telling her, don't sign it, don't sign it. If you sign it, that's it. You've given up your green card and you're not going to get it back again. You're going to have to find another way to get your status. Don't sign it, don't sign it. And after being detained for 5 hours, they were like, fine, here's your green card back. Go and apply for your reentry permit. And they released her back into the United States from the airport. And now we're going to be able to file for her reentry permit. The point is that you need to understand what goes on at the airport, how much control and power CBP has, and they're going to try to trick you and they're going to try to force you to sign things. Don't sign anything unless you fully understand what it is that you're signing. An I-407 has a severe consequence. It literally means you're giving up your resident status. Luckily, I was on standby and we had full conversations while she was at the airport and was able to save her. And now she has her green card still, and we can just go ahead and apply for her reentry permit.
Now, it is true that some people are having issues re-entering the country on their green card. This is why a lot of people leave the United States of America. They go back to their country, and I'm going to give you an example. Don't come for me with this example, guys, but I'm going to give you an example. We all know how it's freezing cold in some parts of America right now. Like where I am, it is freezing cold, let me tell you. It is freezing cold. So during the winter time, a lot of people, especially the older people who has green card, and let me tell you, Caribbean people, they don't like to do the citizenship thing. They do not like to give up their citizenship. I can tell you because I'm Caribbean, okay? We do not like to give up our citizenship. So these older people, in the wintertime, they go back to their country, some of them to Jamaica or wherever, which other island they're from, Africa, whichever country in Africa they're from. And listen, before you come for me, let me just clarify that yes, I know that there are people from all over the world in America, not just Africa and the Caribbean, because I know there will be someone who hops into my comment section to say this. Listen, I am only talking about Caribbean and Africans because it's mostly those people who watch my videos, okay? Those are mostly my subscribers. That's why if I say Caribbean or Africa, it's not anything to do with, okay, you think only us here in America, only us come here to be on green card or to get citizenship. No, that's not what this is about. So please, I'm begging you, don't come for me with that comment, please. Okay, just use common sense to know that we all know that there are people from Russia, people from all over the world in America, and they spend the entire winter there. Some of them, they stay much longer. Some of them, they stay longer than 1 year in the country. Now, prior to, orange guy, okay. Prior to Trump, I'm going to be decent because I don't want people to come for me. I do not like to discuss politics on my channel, but I will say this. Prior to Trump taking office, the system was a little bit slack. Let's just cut the chase and say the truth. The system was a little bit slack. So people would get away with leaving, going overseas, staying for longer than 6 months, staying over a year, and they re-enter and no one asks them any questions. Maybe randomly, a few people may get pulled into, an office and ask questions and then sent on their way. But it was not as prevalent as it is now. Okay? Now they're stopping everyone if you stay overseas longer than a year without getting permission, because there's a form that you can file and ask for permission to stay out of the country for longer than 1 year if you are a green card holder. Now, if you are a citizen of the United States, you can stay overseas for as long as you want, as long as you're still paying your taxes and doing what it is that you need to do to make America happy. Okay? But green card holders are staying overseas for longer than 1 year. They're coming back. And those are the people that are getting stopped. Okay? Those are the people that are getting stopped. A regular person who take a trip 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even 4 weeks overseas and returning to the United States, no one is going to bother you. You have all right to re-enter the United States. All right. And even if you stayed out of this country longer than 1 year or 6 months and they stop you and they have an issue with it, they still have to allow you into the country. They can allow you into the country, and then they will just send you to the immigration court and you have to plead your case there. That's how I think it worked. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not an attorney. I can leave links for attorneys who will give you free advice on YouTube, who you'll be able to follow there if you have questions. So please don't ask me questions about anything related to immigration, please, because I can't give you the right answers, and I don't want to give you misleading information and then I get sued for giving you misleading information. Okay? Also, some other green card holders who are getting stopped at the port of entry, the border, back into the United States of America, are those with criminal records. If you have a criminal record, where you go? Seriously, hot pocket. Why are you at Carnival in Trinidad if you have a criminal record on the books over here in America? Why are you so hard up to go to Carnival in Trinidad? You tell me. This is why y'all are getting stopped. Hot pocket. You can't keep still. You have a criminal record. Why are you going back to Jamaica? For what? Even if it is a minor traffic, whatever. I wouldn't go anywhere. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. But that's just me. That's just me. I wouldn't travel anywhere. But some of you feel like, okay, I did it once before and I got back in, so nothing is going to happen. This is a whole different ball game right now. Like I've said, things has changed. Things are not as slack as it used to be. Things are not as loose as it used to be. Okay? These people are like hound dogs right now. So you have to be careful. If you are going through any sort of deportation, this, that, or the next, or you did something illegal in the United States and it's on record somewhere, don't leave the country. Watch that show. Watch Vibes Cartel on TV. Watch the Carnival on TV. Let one of your boys record it for you. Go on YouTube and watch it on YouTube, okay? Please, I'm begging you. Don't try to be hey, nobody can stop me. Me, I go on me yard. Nobody can stop me. And then the minute you reach Jamaica and your money finish, you want to come back to America. And then you get back at the airport and they're going to tell you, you can't come back, yes, sir. Or they will allow you in, but they're going to put you into deportation proceedings immediately. Okay? That's all I'm saying, guys, as it relates to that. So, as I'm saying, guys, if you are getting stopped, it's because something is wrong. It's not because you have just have a green card and you have been abiding by the law. You have done something wrong. or you up to some fishy stuff. That's why they are stopping you. So stop spreading rumors or stop believing rumors that if you have a green card, you're a good law-abiding citizen, you're paying all your tax, you're paying your taxes, you're doing everything right, you haven't committed any crime or anything like that, you are not on any hold or whatever at USCIS, you can go travel and come back into the country. Do not believe the crazy things that people are telling you. I am going to leave a clip here from an attorney, and I will also leave her link in my description so that you guys can follow her to get information, updated information on immigration. She has this to say about the green cards and the people who are being stopped at the port of entries back into the United States. Okay?
It is okay for an individual to travel with their green card. My recommendation in 2025 is that green card holders do not play the game of in and out of living in another country. Do not play the game of living outside of the United States. And then you check in once a year, and then you get a little slap on the wrist, if even that, by CBP. Do not play that game over the next 4 years. You're not supposed to be living outside. Secondly, do not stay out longer than 6 months, green card holder. And thirdly, if you would like to stay outside of the United States for a year or longer, apply for the re-entry permit before you leave the United States. Guys, what I'm sharing with you is just to protect you, because, my God, you do not want to be held at secondary questioning with your green card. How embarrassing is that, right? You don't want to be blindsided. You do have a right to come into the United States. They have to let you in. But you do not want to go through the hassle of answering a lot of questions at the airport, and certainly you do not want a notice to appear in immigration court to defend your green card if you've stayed outside of the United States too long on the green card. Fourth point is, do not travel if you have a notice to appear in immigration court, green card holders. So those are my 4 points for green card holders. I have a new travel warning for green card holders. If you have a 10-year green card or a 2-year green card, listen up. The travel warning is coming directly from the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and they say that they have become aware of the fact that Customs has changed its practice as it relates to how it treats green card holders who are in removal or deportation proceedings. They are now being detained by either Customs or ICE when they're trying to come back into the United States. These are individuals, guys, who have a notice to appear in immigration court. Yes, green card holders who are going through removal. It also includes those of you who had applied to remove the conditions on your green card, the 2-year green card, and that process didn't work out for you. Your I-751 was denied, yet you were able to get a stamp in your passport to allow you to travel outside of the United States. You are also at risk of being detained upon entry into the United States. So it is advisable at this time that green card holders who are also in removal proceedings to not travel internationally.
Like she said, like this lady said, you heard what she said. It has nothing to do with regular people with a green card who hasn't committed a crime or hasn't done anything wrong. It's just people who are breaking the rules. Okay, she explained it clearly, but there are many people on social media who's just lying and using these things for clickbaits and not telling the complete truth of, what these attorneys are saying or what the law says. They're just lying, making it seem, putting fear in everyone's mind. Putting fear in everyone's minds, causing hysteria for whatever reason, and causing people not to want to travel. Now, I've heard that even the flights going to Jamaica, and I will post a clip here of a flight going to Jamaica, where people don't want to travel. They don't want to go anywhere. The flights are empty because of how scared people are for going home, thinking that they won't be able to come back to America.
Laptops and devices of similar size can locate the other seat in front of you. Service must remain off or in airplane mode until flight date. You can help us prepare for our next flight by turning around your seat. And in the seat back pocket for items you'd like to discard. Anything you're not taking off the aircraft menu, please answer us as we pass in the cabin one last time. It's been a pleasure serving you. Good landing soon.
And it's sad, man. It's sad, especially those people who love to travel during the winter time. Just go home for 3 months and come back. There's nothing wrong with that. They can't stop you from coming back. They can't. They cannot stop you from coming back. Believe me. Okay. Now there is another issue that I saw online as well, where this African guy, he said that he was at the airport and he couldn't fly because something happened. He has 2 passports. He has dual citizenship. I don't know. Some people have 2 passports. Some countries allow dual citizenship. Okay. So he has a passport for whichever country in Africa he's from, and he also has an American passport. And what a lot of people do is when they're going to their country, they use their passport. I don't know why they do that, but I think in the Caribbean, specifically Jamaica, many Jamaicans use their passport to go home because the lines at customs and immigration is much shorter when you use your passport, your Jamaican passport, versus the tourist line. It takes sometimes an hour, I heard, if you don't do like a fast track thing that you have to pay for. So I've heard from, family members that they will do that because of the ease of getting into the country much faster. It's only an hour, guys. What's an hour? What's an hour? You could use your American passport. What's an hour just to wait? Okay, so now they're cracking down on that, where you can't use one passport to go to your country and then coming back into America, you're using your American passport. You can't do that anymore. That's what I've heard. I don't know if this is any truth to it. So as I'm saying, that the African guy said that he couldn't, either he said he couldn't leave America or something, or he couldn't leave his country. No, I think I don't know. But anyway, he had some issues because he was using 2 passports, because I guess the country he's from has dual citizenship. Some countries don't. So yeah, so the guy was saying he can't do that anymore. He almost got in trouble for it. And a lot of people, they do that. And I explained earlier why some of them do it. Others, I don't know why. You tell me if you have done it before, and you tell me why you do it. Because people have their reasons why they do that. To me, it just doesn't make sense, I guess. But people do it, I don't know if they think that they'll be treated differently or whatever the case may be, but people do that. I'll leave the clip of the guy here. Let him explain to you what happened to him when he did that, and he is a citizen of the United States.
Okay, guys, we can no longer travel, especially those who has U.S. passports and the passport of your home country. When we're traveling, we use our hometown country to go, and when we're coming back, we use a U.S. passport. That thing is over. You can't do that no more, and I'm a palpable victim of that. As you can see, I'm at the airports. I was trying to travel. Okay, so this is the JFK Airport, Kennedy, and I should be traveling, but I didn't know how the appropriate visa, because I have the passport of my hometown, and they made it very simple that they can let me go, but coming back, I'm gonna be in trouble. So they advised me to go get a visa in the US passport before I travel. Guys, listen to me very carefully. This is no joke. This time, immigration has become very serious. If you, especially Africans and the Caribbean, we have our hometown passports and we have a US passport. You cannot go home with your hometown passport and not having a visa in your US passport. You're gonna have a problem coming back. So please, guys, I advise everybody, share this video very well. I couldn't fly because of that. So it's real. I know we heard about this, how some Africans were refused to come in the US, though they're US citizen. And I have the proof that you can't do this no more. You can't do that no more. Okay, so guys, you got to be very careful with that. You can see, okay, this is the airport. Everybody else is flying. Me, I cannot fly simply because I did not have the visa in my US passport. Instead, I carry my home country passport. Okay, thank you.
Now, after listening to the guy one more time, I understand what he's trying to say. Like some countries, yes, Americans will need a visa to enter that country. So if you have your own country passport, you really wouldn't have to go and get that visa. You can just use your passport to get in that country. But right now, they can't do that anymore. So you have to go and get your visa stamp in your US passport. That's basically what he was saying. And at first I was saying that I didn't understand why some countries or a lot of people want to have two passports or dual citizenship. I'm taking that back. I'm smarter than that now. Who wouldn't want to have their own country's passport? For example, if you need to open a bank account in your country, you're going to need some form of identification, and your passport is a good form of identification in your own birth country. You know what I mean? So I can completely understand why some people want to have two passports. These are things that people used to get away with for a very long time because, like I said, the borders were loose. The borders, just slackness going on. People were not checking. But now they're cracking down on all of that. They're doing detailed checks on each and every one who's coming back into this country. This border is on lock right now. You hear me? It is. Believe me, it is. Let's move on to the next claim where they're saying that immigration and ICE, they're raiding schools, churches, law firms, hallways of courthouses, immigration appointment raids as well. Yes, this is the truth. This is no lies. No lies has been told on this one, because when the man in charge, the new president in charge, took office, he signed executive orders allowing ICE agents to arrest migrants at courthouses and, appointments, immigration appointments, and also at schools. They're allowed to go into schools and churches, all these safe havens they're allowed to go to. There is nowhere to hide right now. You can't hide. There's no safe house. This is why a lot of people are afraid of going outside, because they don't know. At one point, people were walking with their passport. I heard a lady in the elevator, telling someone else, and this is a Caribbean lady, because I live in, a predominantly Caribbean area, Brooklyn. And I overheard the lady telling her friend, it's a good thing so me get my passport, because me don't know what me I do right now, Jesus, me don't know. Every day me I go to work, me I walk with my passport in my bag every day, because if them stop me have to take out my passport and show them, say, look, me a citizen now, and she telling the next friend, me don't know why you didn't get your passport. The whole time me I tell you to get your passport and you don't get your passport. Now there are a lot of people, Caribbean people specifically, are, in limbo, or they're concerned, they're worried because they have a green card. I am going to reiterate. Please do not be worried if you have a green card and you are a law-abiding resident. You have absolutely nothing to be fearful of.
Generally speaking, permanent residents are not going to be targeted by immigration. If you have a green card and you haven't spent a lot of time outside of the US and you're permanently living in the US and you haven't committed immigration fraud and you have no criminal history, you generally have nothing to worry about. You can permanently live in the US. Immigration isn't just going to come to your door if you have no immigration violations. And worst case scenario, if you have no criminal convictions, you'll receive a notice to appear in immigration court, where you'll have an opportunity to present yourself, see the government's evidence showing you're deportable, and defend yourself. This could be a several-year process. It's very rare for a permanent resident with no criminal history to just get detained by immigration. I tell all my clients not to worry about that if I know that they have no criminal history. If you have convictions and they're serious, then that's a different story. In that case, you should immediately speak with an immigration attorney so that you can create a plan A and a plan B just in case you are contacted by immigration. But for the most part, if you have a green card, stop freaking out. Trump isn't going to deport you. So there. All right.
And people are not going to churches anymore. They're afraid to leave their homes right now. It's depressing, really. It is. And it's because of all this, anxiety and all the stories that has been circulating on social media. There was this little girl that I think I mentioned briefly earlier in my introduction, that this little girl in school, she was bullied by her peers in school, by other students, bullying her, telling her they're going to call ICE on her parents so that her parents can be taken away from her and she will be all alone by herself. And the school knew about this bullying. In fact, it was happening to a lot of people in the school, and so they started doing counseling for the students, but they never told the parents. And this was only found out after that little girl unalived herself because she couldn't take the bullying anymore, and she was afraid that her parents would be taken away from her based on what these other students were telling her on a daily basis. How sad is that, guys? Seriously, how sad is that? What is this country coming to? Seriously. An 11-year-old died on February 8th when her mother found her unresponsive at her home. She was bullied and taunted at school over her family immigration status. Other kids allegedly told her they were going to call immigration so they could take her parents away and she would be left alone. They taunt her with a lot of fear. The Trump administration recently removed restrictions that prevented immigration and customs enforcement from conducting raids at so-called sensitive locations. And these sensitive locations are like schools, churches, hospitals, house of worship, we call them. Those were the sensitive areas. So ICE could go into any of these areas and drag anyone out at any time that they want to. And it was the reason why this little girl decided that she didn't want to be around anymore. She couldn't take the taunting anymore. And so she removed herself from all of this fear and stress. And it's a sad story. I don't want to talk about it. So as I said, those claims are absolutely true, guys. They can come to your church. They can come to the law firm that you go to. So you have to be careful if you're not straight in this country. They are now going to the hallways at courthouses. They're allowed to go to the hallways at courthouses. Prior to the Trump administration, they were not allowed to do that, but now they're allowed to. So they're just waiting for people at the courthouses who, has like an immigration court. They go there to get their status rectified or whatever. They are going to the courthouses and arrest these people in the hallway. They can't go inside the court, I think, but they can wait for them outside in the hallway and they can grab them the minute they walk out of that courthouse. Yes, ICE can, and they have been doing it in a lot of states, okay? They can also grab you and arrest you at your immigration appointment. And they are not going to do that if you are illegal. If you are just going there to get your status adjusted and you have not committed a crime, they are not going to arrest you for nothing. If they're going to remove you, it's because you have broken the law. It's because you have done something wrong. It's because you have done something illegal. It's because they found out your marriage is not a bona fide marriage. It's because they found out you are using someone else's name, like a dead person name. Yeah, so it happens. People use fake names, So if you're doing that and you going up for your adjustment of status, or you're going for your interview, they may or may not catch up with you. You can't do illegal things and think that it's okay and think that they may not get you. They probably will. So these are the people that they are rounding up and sending back home. Okay? So if you're on the straight with your green card and your citizenship, you have absolutely nothing to be fearful of. Now the other thing, let me read the article from let me read the article where they are, getting people at immigration. So here's an article. I'm reading something from Reddit. And it says that attorneys in New York say dozens of their clients have been detained and deported after reporting for seemingly routine check-ins related to their immigration cases since Trump electoral victory in November. Two of them, a mother and the young daughter, didn't even know they had lost their appeal to stay in the U.S. when they arrived for their appointment. They were deported the next day. So I don't understand. Are the attorneys not telling these people that they lost their appeal? If you have an attorney, why would the attorney not tell you that you lost your appeal? Some of these attorneys are only out here to take people money. So you have to be careful. You have to try to understand your case yourself, because sometimes these attorneys are not advocating for you. It's all about money going into their pocket. Okay? Unfortunately, there are a lot of attorneys who take advantage of their clients, especially in areas that has a large number of undocumented immigrants. For example, in New York, there are a lot of undocumented immigrants in New York. So I'm pretty sure some of the attorneys are, they just want money. Like I said, it's all about, greasing their pocket. They really don't care about some of these clients. Absolutely not. They don't. They just want money for themselves. And so they will feed them with any nonsense. And when these people go for their interview, knowing that, hey, I can't, instead of saying, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I really can't. This is, the best thing for you to do is either take the risk in hiding or you go back home. They pretend as if, no, I can get you straight into this country. You don't worry about it. I can take care of it. I'll help you to get your documents. And when it boils down to it, they end up getting deported. They do. So you have to be careful and choose wisely on the attorneys that you are, choosing to represent you. Ask for referrals. Just don't go to the directory and just pick anyone out of the blue. Ask for references. Ask for recommendations or references to a reputable attorney. So I'll read an article from The Guardian. Okay, people attending recent mandatory immigration check-ins or court appearances have been escorted out in federal custody after Trump administration allegedly tricked, lied, or otherwise deceived them as part of its mass deportation campaign. Amid a blitz of immigration-related policies changes over the last few weeks, Donald Trump and his subordinates have greenlit the ability of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to conduct potential civil enforcement operations at courthouses, including in immigration courts. They have also reportedly set daily arrest quotas between at least 1,200 and 1,500 and gotten angry when agents have not consistently met those targets, pressured from the top that is probably incentivizing officers on the ground to go after the lowest hanging fruit instead of people with serious criminal records. Now, prior to all this, people were saying that, oh, they're only going to deport people with serious criminal records. No, that is not true. They are, even if it's probably a small criminal record that is not so serious, they are deporting those people as well. Even people who were granted by the Biden administration, people who were granted the TPS safety into the country or whatever, those people are no longer safe, as well. They're being deported. Biden had allowed people to come into the country last year from countries such as countries such as Haiti and Venezuela, and they were protected under this whole TPS system. And I think after the Trump administration came into effect, that is, no longer valid. These people will be deported right back to their country. Okay, even if they don't have a criminal record, these people are going back. They are not safe anymore. So all of that has been discontinued, and whew, they are being shipped back. In fact, I saw a plane load of Venezuelan that landed in Venezuela. I think it was today or yesterday. And all these men that they deported from Guantanamo Bay, I guess they deported them from America first, sent them to Guantanamo Bay, and then now they are sending them back to their country, Venezuela. And these were all men. Of course, some of them were criminals. No doubt some of those guys were criminals. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Don't come for me, but some of those Venezuelans were. I'm sorry, they were wreaking havoc in New York City. A lot of them. For others in New York State, ICE check-ins now mean confiscated passport, ankle monitors requirements, and fingerprinting for kids. In neighboring New Jersey, non-citizens are being arrested at their appointments as well. And in Florida, family members and advocates have accused immigration enforcement officials of luring committee members into a government contractor's office, supposedly to fix an issue with their monitoring device or to sign a paper only to take them into custody. So, guys, some of this is truth. Some of this is true, but consult your attorney. If you have an issue, don't ask me. Don't ask me, okay? So, like you see, they're fishing. Like it's fishing them out. Hey, I need this contractors to fix this house for me. And then what happened? A lot of illegals show up to do these repairs. This contractor, of course, may have a lot of illegals working for him. And when all these people show up for work, they just arrest all of them. Arrest them. So that's what they are doing as well. Okay? They are fishing to get these guys out, unfortunately. And that's sad. I don't feel like they should have to go through to do all of this. Unfortunately, I just feel it in my heart that yes, there are people who are here who are illegal. There are people who are breaking the law. There are people who are, criminals. Deport them. But to go through to fish people out, my goodness, that's horrible. And you're right. If they give them quotas, then that's what they're going to do. It reminds me of when they had the frisk and check in New York, and they were arresting a lot of black men for absolutely no reason, because they had a quota to make, and so they have to just make up these things and arrest these people even if they had done absolutely nothing wrong. And this is what may be happening right now when it comes to ICE and the immigration issue that we are having. Okay, so yes, guys, some of the things that has been happening out here as it relates to immigration issues, and I think I've covered most of it, and debunk some of the lies where I mentioned that you can absolutely travel if you have a valid green card. If it's not expired, make sure you check your documents before you travel. You check your green card before you travel to make sure that it's it hasn't expired or it's not close to its expiration date. Do not stay out of the country longer than 6 months if you are a green card holder, unless you get some sort of approval, and you can get approval by signing certain documents to stay out of the country longer than 6 months or a year. I'm not 100% sure now if it's a year or 6 months. So speak to an attorney, or ask someone who would be more familiar with this than myself. You can check into all these things yourself. But if you are a resident of the United States, there is no need for you to be living abroad. If you don't want to be a resident in the United States, you can also denounce your residency, your citizenship, or whatever the case may be. You absolutely can. You are not bound to stay here if you don't want to, but you can go out there and live somewhere abroad, and then you come here and then you claim this and you claim that and you claim medical this and you're claiming this, all these free stuff, but you are not living in America. That is just not fair to the American people, and I'm going to say it as it is. It is not fair. Okay, you're just using it as some little convenient gateway, and no one should do that to anyone's country. I'm pretty sure in your country that you are from, if someone comes there and it's trying to do that, you are also going to get upset. The other day I saw some Haitians landed in Jamaica, and in the comment sections I couldn't believe these were Jamaicans telling, saying the things they were saying to those Haitians that were looking for a better life in Jamaica. They're like, get them out of here, get them out of here, send them back, put them on a plane right now, send them back to their country. What are they doing here? Why do they come here? Put them on the next flight out. We don't want them here. They are belligerent. They are this, they are that. But God forbid someone say that to someone who is illegal in America, then that person's neck will be up. It will be war. People will get upset. But as you know, guys, me and my mouth, I say whatever I want. And who wants to come for me, come for me. Okay? I am not saying that Trump should deport the law-abiding citizens who are hard workers here. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that if you break the law, then you shouldn't be treated as if, hey, you didn't break the law. You come to someone's country, you abide the law. You respect them and you abide the law in their country. Okay, it is not your country. You come to their country, you respect them, you respect the laws of that country, and you abide by it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So just be careful. Don't use both passports to travel. If you're a citizen, you don't need to use the passport of your country plus the passport of America to, travel back and forth. That's not going to look good. They're going to look in your U.S. passport and be like, where's the stamp to say that you left this country? There's no stamp in your passport. None whatsoever. But there's a stamp of you coming back. So now you're going to put yourself in problems. So those are some of the things that you can't do anymore. If you used to get away with it for a while, you just can't do it anymore. It's only 4 years. Hold on. 4 years, okay? It's only 4 years. Stay calm. It's only 4 years. You don't need to go to Carnival in Trinidad, or you don't need to go to any of these festivals and these bashment in Jamaica or any of these other countries. And I'm speaking to my Caribbean people because I'm Caribbean. I'm not saying that we are the only ones who are migrants in America. Okay? I haven't seen where they have deported all the Ukrainians and all those people who came into the country that are not of our skin tone, okay, or darker hue than me. I'm not seeing that, but I've also seen where they are hitting places like Chinatown where the Asians are. A lot of the Asians are getting rounded up. I'm sorry, guys, if you don't believe me. I have seen a few clips where a lot of the Asians are rounded up. Okay, it's not just black people. There are quite a few. But you have to understand that the white people who are illegal can hide more than the black people. And of course, let's just say that our own black people will be the first ones to call ICE on us, even your own family. So you have to be careful. Keep your mouth shut, keep your head low, and don't tell anybody your business. Not even your own family, because your own family sometimes are your biggest enemies. They are your biggest haters. They're the ones who will call ICE and give ICE your address. Tell them where you live. Tell them where they can come and fetch you. I'm telling you. So these are some of the things that you need to do. The biggest one is to keep your mouth shut if you know that you are not legal in these United States of America. Don't go out there broadcasting it. Don't go out there with your loud mouth. Keep your head down. Don't get yourself into any problems. Don't go arguing with anyone playing the big bad wolf, because you know you are not legal in these United States of America. That's just some of my warnings that I have for some of you out there, because I know how we are. I know how our tempers are. So I am just letting you guys know. Okay, so thank you for watching me. I really appreciate it. I know this was a serious video. It wasn't one of my funny videos, but you know, sometimes we have to get serious about certain things in life. It's not every day is not just a joke. Every day is not one big joke. Okay, guys. But thank you for watching me. I truly appreciate it. Please leave your comments in the comment section. What do you think about all of this? I don't want any one of you to be fearful. You shouldn't have to be. You know, just hang in there. If you're not straight, try to figure out a way to get straight. If you cross the border, I'm sorry, you can't hide. If you cross the border illegally, you can't hide. But if you came into the country on a plane or by boat and you have some sort of stamp to say that you come into the country, it's never too late. You can get straight. Just find a way. I can't tell you how, but just find a way. Okay, but if you cross the border over in Mexico, I'm sorry, dog, nyam your supper. Me can't help you. I mean, I think nobody can help you, because you can't get married to anyone. You can't get straight. If you cross the border illegally, you cannot get straight. I am just leaving that out there, point blank and period, for you to hear that you can't get straight. I am sorry, you just cannot. Anyway, like I said, thank you for watching me, and see you in my next video. Ta-ta.